want to wash clay and polish my ride, and I don't want to spend a lot of time doing it.
I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. We're going to be polishing this, we're going to be decontaminating, we're going to be washing it in the shortest amount of time possible. If you're a professional detailer, this should speak to your profitability as well.
There was a video I did back in the day on my YouTube channel about how to wash and polish a vehicle in an hour for $250 to make that $250 an hour profit margin.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at home and you don't want to be a pro and you just want to be able to do this, that's awesome. If you are a pro or aspiring pro detailer, it's also awesome because Ivan's about to show you some magic. We're gonna waste no time.
Right.
But I don't want to feel like I'm working too hard either.
No.
So as an art form to this, I'm gonna let you take the lead.
Yeah, so you'll notice we have a lot of things laid out here. The reason we have it laid out, part of being efficient is having your tools at hand and ready to go. So we have the pre-rinse there, we have the foamer, the bucket with the decontamination towels, and the bucket with the rinseless. The rinseless is already mixed up. In the IK foamer, we already have the all clean mixed up for the wheels. We already have the rinseless wash in the keg to do the pre-spray, and our pad washer and polish are ready to go. And we're gonna be finishing this vehicle off with ceramic gloss. So, are you ready?
I am so ready. I'm just gonna listen and I'm gonna do. Now Ivan gave me very clear instructions before the video. This is not a barrel cleaning video. We brush the wheels, we get the tires, and we move on.
This vehicle is a winter-driven only vehicle.
Yeah, it has Blizzaks on there.
We're in June and it still has winter tires on it. So it doesn't get driven in the summer.
I didn't spend 10 minutes on that wheel. I got in, I got out. Boom.
Now I'm not gonna be using a pressure washer on this. I'm using the keg sprayer with the rinseless in it, and we'll just come back and dry the wheels when we dry the car. We're gonna mist the rinseless on the vehicle everywhere as a pre-spray step. It'll be emulsifying the dirt, getting it nice and ready to just fall off the vehicle. These keg sprayers are very efficient. You can build a lot of pressure in them, and when you build that pressure, you don't have to be pumping them up and going back and adding pressure. There's a lot in there. We only have 1 gallon of rinseless in it. That's all we need. There's no need to have 10 gallons of product in here. Wouldn't fit anyways, but you don't need that much in it.
Okay, the wheels are done.
Yep.
Time to wash?
Go right ahead. One of the keys of being efficient is being methodical, is not going back and forth over areas 3 or 4 times. It's getting it done right the first time and not having to go back. Also avoid unnecessary steps. Nick is starting on the roof where he should. Now, since we're not going to be rinsing this off, we're actually going to double dip, in a sense, the rinseless sponge, meaning you use the red side to begin with and then go over the same panel with the black side before going back to your wash bucket.
Why is that, Ivan?
The first time we're actually picking up the grit with the sponge. The second time we're just making sure there's none left so that when we hit it with a clay towel to decontaminate it, we won't have any issues.
You know, people out there are gonna hear you say that and be like, how is that safe?
I've been doing it for 20 years. Trust me, haven't scratched a car yet. But yeah, it is safe because of the polymers the rinseless, and everything that goes with it.
So remind me, we're gonna do red sponge on, just so I can keep this straight in my head. Red side for the first pass and then the same area black?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you prefer black first and red second, makes no difference. But whichever fits your needs.
No, I follow directions well, so I'm just trying to, I'm gonna go red first, black second.
Yeah.
You guys keep me accountable out there if I have a brain fart, as they say. I don't know if they say that anymore. They say that.
Oh yeah. It's not politically correct, but what the heck. Now ideally, if you're working alone, your bucket has wheels on it and it follows you around the vehicle. You've done the windows here, Nick?
I did that front window, and then I'm doing these as well.
Okay, but the door wasn't done. Good.
No, I did just the roof on my side, and then the windows. I'm gonna then do the other half of the roof, okay?
Yep.
So then you take care of the rest. Oh, that side.
And you see how flat the water is sitting on here? Normally the rinseless, as it cleans, starts to beat up a little bit, but this one hasn't been, shall we say, cared for too much.
No, I mean, when we got this thing in the shop, and I'll show you some B-roll shots here, it was raining outside, and it was very flat water behavior, which is to say, not those tight water beads we think of when we think of a ceramic coating or a protected surface, right?
But to its credit, this vehicle has been garage kept all its life. So it is not very scuffed or marred. The paint hasn't faded. Still looking good, but we're gonna make it look a lot better.
The goal here is just, how efficient can we be? Let's maximize our time. Let's maximize the results. I know it can be done. I'm not dubious of it. I'm just excited to show it to people because we're not going for showroom paint, but for the amount of time and effort we're gonna put into this and the results, it's gonna be hopefully shocking in a good way. Because it can take 2 hours to wash your car if you're doing it wrong / right, depending on how you view it.
Yeah, and you know, if it's your hobby, take all the time you want.
Right.
Take all the time, you know, it makes you feel good. Washing and maintaining your car is actually a hobby that pays you back. You know, most hobbies cost you a lot of money. If you play any sports, you know as well as I do that the equipment, the fees, everything that goes with it takes money. Whereas washing your car, yes, you're gonna invest in a few chemicals, but a well-maintained car is actually gonna sell for more when you go to trade it in. So you're actually not spending a lot of money if you're maintaining your car. So Nick, I'll let you continue washing that side.
Okay, so I have done the roof and all the windows.
Right.
What's next?
Continue washing that side, and I'll start with the decontamination towel.
Perfect.
We have the incredible lubrication of the rinseless wash, not only on the panel, but also with the decontamination towel. And we just keep going with no pressure until we don't feel that contamination anymore. And sometimes it's bad enough that we can hear it, but this vehicle actually isn't too bad.
There's still some people out there who are gonna be shocked and be like, wait, you don't have a foam cannon? You're doing this with a rinseless wash? You haven't even flushed the panel with water? Like, how is this even happening? And I hope that we're blowing your minds, guys, because when you get the rinseless wash thing, when it finally clicks, it makes a huge difference.
Right.
Let's say we did introduce any kind of micro marring or scratching.
We're going to be polishing the vehicle.
Yeah, we're polishing after anyway. So oftentimes as a pro, I may be a little more cavalier in the wash stage if I was going to polish after. Now that's not what this is about, but knowing that I'm going to touch every surface with the polisher gives me a little peace of mind.
Right. But if you're methodical in your wash process, if you're methodical in what you're doing, you're not going to be introducing any scratch risks whatsoever. So yeah, these bottom panels here are a little more contaminated than the rest of the vehicle.
We definitely could have used a pressure washer. We're talking about saving you time.
And not everyone has a pressure washer.
That's true.
And I know some very successful professional shops that don't own a pressure washer. So it is not a necessity in detailing. It's a nice tool to have. It actually saves water, first of all, because a pressure washer uses a lot less water than a hose.
What about this as a general rule anyway, Ivan, to take the sponge and hit a panel and then to flip it one more time? Or is that just unnecessary?
It's not necessary. In this case, we knew that this vehicle hadn't been washed in a long time. The owner admits that he washes it once a year, maybe twice. So it doesn't get washed a lot. So we knew we had a lot of road contamination on there. The road grime, or the traffic film, I think the favorite industry term is at the moment. So it has a lot of traffic film built up on it.
Have we done the front bumper yet? Doesn't look like it.
No, front bumper is not done. And only the passenger side of the hood is done. Ooh, this back bumper sounds like sandpaper. Feels like it too. And this is often, especially on SUVs with the square back end, the dirtiest spot on the vehicle.
Well, I do reckon I'm done with washing, Ivan. What can I do next?
Oh, since you're so comfortable up on that ladder, your decontamination towel awaits you on the roof.
Great.
So since Nick is starting at the back, I'm gonna start at the front. That way we're not in each other's way.
So we are gonna hose this off though, right?
No.
No, okay. I was like, why aren't we using iron remover? Because we're not gonna hose it off.
Right.
So after we go ahead and finish the decontamination step, and forgive me if I didn't hear you here, are we toweling dry or are we just gonna polish over the dried rinseless?
We're just gonna give it a very summary drying.
Okay.
Especially for the windows. But the rinseless does not leave any water spots. So yeah, we could just let it dry and let it be.
What about the idea that, is this better for garage kept or outside in the sun? I mean, is this a sunlight friendly method?
Actually, it is. Now, I would work in smaller sections. I wouldn't try to do the whole vehicle at once. But definitely this is as sun friendly can be. But nonetheless, never work outside if you can avoid it. Or work outside, but work in the shade.
I forget, I always use iron remover with my decontamination towel, but rinseless is a great lube.
It sure is. And it's just a 256-to-1. We don't need special dilution ratios for all sorts of different things. 256-to-1 is just about 90% or 99% of what we do.
Yep, 1 ounce of rinseless wash to 2 gallons of water.
Yep.
And this decontamination towel is gonna help clear up anything that's embedded in our clear coat that would get in the way of our polish interacting with the pad to get the results we want on this paint, which is to improve and brighten up and clean up before we add ceramic gloss, which is gonna then give it the most longevity.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy product to apply. by spraying on and wiping in, that it's a maximum protection versus effort kind of a protection process and product.
Exactly. And when we're done with something, we move it out of the way. That way it's not in our way.
That's a good point. Makes sense to me. I don't know if you hit the windshield, but I'm just going to be redundant with it, just in case. Nothing worse than finishing up a detail and then seeing a bug gut there. You don't have anything in your hand to get rid of it.
Yep.
And you're like, man, this thing's all dialed in and I got a bug gut. Come on now.
And speaking of efficient detailing, we're going to be using waffle weave towels to dry this off. So there you go, Nick.
You've been a proponent of the waffle for many years.
Many years. The waffle is a much lighter towel. So as a professional, if you can carry around half a pound instead of 5 pounds all the time, at the end of the day, it makes a difference.
You mentioned especially drying the windows. What was that all about for this process? Is that an important part? The windows dirty or?
Well, in my case, I'm going to be polishing the windows, but a lot of people don't polish the windows. So you want to make sure you're not getting any water spots on the windows.
Okay. I mean, you could let this residue dry if we had hosed first, perhaps, and then polish right on the rinseless.
No, you can actually just the way it is.
Just the way it is.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I honestly, when I did this a few years back, I just went right to polishing. I remember that was a big time-saving step instead of the dry down.
Right.
Now, what does this take us? A total of probably 3 minutes to dry this thing?
Yeah.
Just a quick dry?
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
No. What do you guys think so far? Comment below. Predictions, criticisms, surprising elements of the wash and decon process so far. Also, we could stop right here, and that is just a quick way to rinseless wash your car. No barrels, nothing crazy, a nice little decon.
Yep.
And you got a clean car, right?
Because the vehicle's already looking brighter than what it did before. So.
Totally. I was just thinking that. I was like, oh, this looks great.
Front bumper's all done.
I did not dry the bumper.
I did.
Okay, perfect.
Just saying the front bumper is all done. So
Okay.
just have this back bumper to do. The roof is done on my side.
I didn't have a ladder, so the roof is not done on my side. I will grab that now.
Oh, I didn't use a ladder, but anyways.
Well, sometimes I don't use a ladder when Ivan's not looking, but to keep it OSHA compliant. Also, maybe you're an inch or two taller.
And it's a lot safer too.
There you go. All right. I'm already feeling like the promise of the world has been restored. I can do anything.
So we're using a 21 millimeter DA. We're using the gold standard polish. We have rinseless wash in the bucket, in the pad cleaning bucket, and off we go.
Where do you want me to start? Roof?
Start your side on the roof, I'll start on the bottom, and then when you're done with the ladder, I'll have access to the ladder.
So we'll just do side, we'll each take a side.
Yep.
Okay, I like it.
So we are going to go real time on this first section, and then we're going to fast forward it. So I can promise you the real time was to show you how this is done but we don't want to make you sit here for roughly about that hour. So I want you to watch Yvan's speed, his arm movement here. Speed 3, no pressure on the machine. And with this yellow waffle pad and the gold standard polish, it just really has almost infinite working time. Yvan's not sitting anywhere for very long. He's not babysitting scratches. He's trying to clean and gloss up this paint, and it's obviously working very, very well. So you can see how he's done his up, down, left, right passes, and you can see me hitting the roof there as well. So I've been setting his polisher down there, and we're gonna just take a shot of what I'm doing over there on the roof. We'll talk about cleaning the pad in a second, because you're gonna use the pad washer. That's a huge integral part of this. But actually what Yvan's doing now is critical. He's taking a rinseless wash dampened towel, and he's gonna protect the paint.
When I'm done a section, I immediately finish it off.
What speed are you at over there on your polisher, Yvan?
Pardon me?
What speed on your polisher?
Speed 3, no pressure.
Perfect.
So the section is done, it's wiped off, and I have the ceramic gloss already applied. It's done, I don't need to come back to it.
And you can see Mr. Efficiency himself taking a giant lead over the young buck. He is just not focusing on getting any scratches out. He is being very thorough with his polisher passes. He's hit the door jams. He's got the bumper and the windshield and the windows, and who knows where I'm at, but I can tell you Yvan is kicking butt and taking names, as you can see here.
So there we have it. One side is completely done. And this just goes to demonstrate how minimizing your movements can save you time. Nick is 30 years younger than I am. I wasn't rushed. I was just barely moving. Yet, this whole side is wiped off, ceramic glossed, tires are dressed, trim is dressed, door jambs are cleaned, and ceramic glossed as well.
Yvan, you're 67?
Pardon me?
You're 67?
No, 57.
Okay, so 20. Don't give
20
me 30.
years older.
Don't give me that much crap.
Yeah.
I can take the crap, okay? Yvan's faster than me. I just want to make sure. Yvan did a better job in terms of speed, but in terms of love for the paint, they were equal.
There
equal
you go.
love.
But just to goes to show you how being organized and how being methodical can save you time. Just, Nick was up, he was down, not wiping off as he went. Now it's taking him a lot more time because now he's having to wipe off. When I was done this section, I was done this section. When I was done this section, I was done this section.
I like the gold standard polish, Yvan, because I can see where I've been.
Right.
So I'll polish half a car, and at least I know it's so easy to wipe off later.
Right.
Your method proved to be faster,
Exactly.
but my method is still working for me.
Oh, it's still working.
Yeah, because it's not a big deal to wipe it off later with the rinseless wash tape.
No, it's not. It's not dried on there like concrete. No need to worry.
No.
It's just by staying in one section and getting it completely done. Think of it as a precision detailing. So I'm precisely detailing this area. I'm done with it. I can move on. If you're working outside in direct sunlight, that is a strategy that is going to help you, because once this section is done, it's done. You could have actually washed, decontaminated, polished, and ceramic glossed this section without touching the rest of the vehicle, and then moving on to the next section, and then the next section, and then the next section. So being efficient is a mindset. It's not about cutting corners. It's not about forgetting stuff. It's about being methodical and doing one section at a time, and making sure before you move on that that section is done and complete. So if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, please leave them below. Give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, you might really like this one.